Hello there! Welcome back to Brilliant Minds. Today we're going to travel far back in time, more than 3,000 years ago, to ancient Egypt, and meet a boy who became a king. His name was Tutankhamun, and the world still remembers him today as the boy pharaoh. Tutankhamun was born around the year 1341 BC, in a land filled with golden deserts, mighty temples, and the river Nile winding through it all. Egypt was one of the most powerful kingdoms on earth. But Tutankhamun was not just any child. He was born into the royal family, and that meant one day he could be Pharaoh, the ruler of all Egypt. Most children at 9 years old are learning multiplication tables, climbing trees, or playing games. But at 9, Tutankhamun was put on the crown of Egypt. He became Pharaoh. Imagine being younger than most of your teachers and suddenly responsible for an entire kingdom. Of course, Tutankhamun didn't rule alone. He had wise advisors and priests to guide him. But even as a boy, he had to make important decisions. He changed the religion of Egypt back to worshipping many gods after his father had tried to make people worship just one. People welcomed this change, and Tutankhamun became popular among his people. Tutankhamun's reign was not very long. He ruled for only about 10 years. Some believe he was sickly, suffering from broken bones and illnesses. Others think accidents or even palace plots may have ended his life when he was only about 18 years old. However it happened, Tutankhamun's story seemed to end quickly, but that was only the beginning of his legend. After his death, Tutankhamun was buried in the Valley of the Kings, a hidden place filled with tombs of mighty pharaohs. His body was carefully wrapped in bandages, making him a mummy, and placed inside a golden coffin. Around him, treasures were packed into the tomb: chariots, statues, jewelry, toys, even a golden mask that shone brighter than the sun. Egyptians believed these things would help their king in the afterlife. For centuries, Tutankhamun's tomb lay hidden, covered by sand and forgotten by history. Then, in 1922, an archaeologist named Howard Carter discovered a staircase leading down into the earth. When his team opened the tomb, they found more than 5,000 objects, almost perfectly preserved. It was like stepping into a time machine. And there, at the heart of it all, was Tutankhamun himself, the boy king, still wearing his golden mask, looking as if he might open his eyes at any moment. The world was astonished. Newspapers everywhere shouted about the discovery. For the first time, people could see the wonders of ancient Egypt up close, and Tutankhamun became the most famous pharaoh of all. Even today, Tutankhamun's treasures travel the world in museum exhibitions, and millions of people line up to see his mask, his jewelry, and the items buried with him thousands of years ago. His story continues to spark curiosity about mummies, pyramids, and the mysteries of Egypt. So, what can we learn from Tutankhamun? That even someone young can hold great responsibility. That history is full of surprises, and sometimes the smallest stories, like a boy who ruled for just a few years, can echo across thousands of years. Next time you see a picture of a pyramid, or hear about a mummy in a museum, think of Tutankhamun. He was once a boy, just like many of you, who grew up to rule one of the greatest kingdoms the world has ever known. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again soon for another amazing story.